And I believe that in order for your soul to recognize its counterpart, it must, however, be authentic and real. And it was clearly a match made in heaven when you two laid eyes on each other in Las Vegas, New Jersey. Together, your love creates a synergy that is unique to only the two of you. No other couple has been or will ever be exactly like the two of you together. You're extraordinary individuals, before as individuals or as one, but now together even more so. I know that each of you believe this. I know that you believe love should be fun. It should be about supporting one another. It should be about loving each other unconditionally. It should be about playing an active role in each other's lives. Being best friends, always romantic, and forever playful. And how true is that for these two? I want to take a moment now, and we're going to break while Darren is going to read a selection that John and Mara chose for you all today. So Darren?
Do you want me up here?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, you should come right up to the front.
No, it's okay.
This is from The Alchemist. When he looked into her dark eyes and saw that her lips were poised between a laugh and silence, he learned the most important part of the language that all the world spoke, the language that everyone on earth was capable of understanding in their heart. It was love. Something older than humanity, more ancient than the desert. Something that exerted the same force whenever two pairs of eyes met, as had theirs here at the well. She smiled, and that was certainly an omen, the omen he had been awaiting without even knowing he was for all his life. The omen he had sought to find with the sheep, and in his books, in the crystals, and in the silence of the desert. It was the pure language of the world. It required no explanation, just as the universe needs none as it travels through endless time. But the boy felt at that moment was that he was in the presence of the only woman in his life. And that, with no need for words, she recognized the same thing. He was more certain of it than of anything in the world. He had been told by his parents and grandparents that he must fall in love and really know a person before becoming committed, but maybe people who felt that way had never understood the universal language. Because when you know that language, it's easy to understand that someone in the world awaits you, whether it's in the middle of the desert or in some great city. And when two such people encounter each other and their eyes meet, the past and the future become unimportant. There is only that moment and the incredible certainty that everything under the sun has been written by one hand only. It is the hand that evokes love and creates a twin soul for every person in the world. Without such love, one's dreams would have no meaning.
Well, is it really any shock that we picked Half Dome for this ceremony? You know, in researching Yosemite and in this particular area, it was thousands, millions of years ago that deep beneath the surface there was this collision between the Pacific and the continental plates, and it developed this, I think it's called a bathol, whatever. These are irrelevant terms, but the point is that there is this immersion coming from beneath, deep within the Earth's crust. And I think that's a perfect metaphor for what's happening here today, is that both of you have really lived your lives as a way of being an example to others by changing from the inside out, being beautiful from the inside, and then showing that to the world outside. So I think this is a perfect location. And I also know that it's beautiful. I also believe that it's beautiful for everybody here today because you always bring out the best in other people. That's what you do. You bring out the best in other people, and I think you did that through this ceremony today as well. So your lives are an example for everybody, and I know that they will continue to be. Your relationship together is always going to be an adventure. And as you both know, the most important part about the adventure isn't the destination, but it's the process and the expedition along the way. If I had to guess, your marriage is going to be a lot like these hikes that you both like to take. You know, one day you're going to turn a corner and there's going to be a bear. Another day you're going to turn a corner and there's going to be somebody going to the bathroom in the woods and you're going to think it's a bear. But one way or another, one way or another, your life will be an adventure. It may rain, but I know both of you well enough to know that you'll just learn to dance in the rain. You're often going to hike with friends, your family. You may get lost. You maybe feel alone at some points. You may be scared, as some of us may have felt today. But the beautiful part of this ceremony is that you always have each other. And if you listen to your hearts, you'll always know which direction to head. That will be your compass on your life. Are you ready to get to the good stuff? All right. Are you guys ready to get to the good stuff? All right. Will you take this woman to be your wedded wife?
Yes.
And will you, John, and this is important to listen to, will you, John, continue to fulfill Mara's needs, which can and will change, but currently include? Will you continue to be spontaneous and always have surprises for her?
Yes.
Will you continue taking her on hikes and motorcycle rides?
Yes.
Will you continue always sharing the best of yourself with her and bring out the best within her?
Yes.
Will you continue playing the piano for her and dancing with her?
Yes.
Will you continue cooking her delicious yet nutritious meals? These are great. And Mara, will you take this man to be your wedded husband?
I will.
Will you, Mara, continue to fulfill John's needs, which can and will most certainly change, but today, currently are? Continue to remind him to dance, sing, and laugh at every possible chance.
I will.
Will you continue to treat every idea and every invitation like a brand new adventure?
I will with all of my heart.
Will you continue to support the risks he takes, the mistakes he makes, and always know that he's doing his best?
I will.
Will you continue to greet him every day when he comes home like he's been gone for weeks?
I definitely will.
And many of you know that is exactly what happens every time John comes home. Will you continue to be the partner that he relies on to nurture him and to be his lover?
I will with all of my heart.
Two people in love do not live in isolation. Their love is surrounded by strength and the strength of their community and their friends and their family. So when these two take their vows today, you all have a responsibility to them as well. With your commitment to care, respect, and love, we can truly support their marriage. They have let their intentions be known to the world. It is now our responsibility to conspire to make it beautiful and magnificent. Will everyone please rise for a moment? So will you all who are present today surround John and Mara in love, offer them joys of your friendship, supporting them in their marriage?
I will.
Yes. All right. Good group. Okay, you can sit down again. Good stretch for the legs, yeah. So we've come to a wonderful part of the ceremony where you're going to say your vows to one another. But before I do that, I ask that you remember this one extremely important point. All you need is love. It's rooted in faith, trust, and acceptance. It's the foundation of an abiding and deepening relationship. No other ties are more tender. No other vows are more sacred. By keeping the vows that you have made here today. And Mother Nature agrees. By keeping the vows that you take here today, not because of any religious or civic law, but out of a desire to love and be loved. Without limitation, your desire will have joy, and the home you establish will be a place in which you both will find the direction of your growth and freedom. You stand here today and make vows for one another, but remember, it's not where you stand in life, it's where you are headed. John and Mara will now read the vows that they've written for one another.